Hello to everyone. Again, I'm announcing that Italian Design Day is organized in cooperation with Istanbul General Consulate of Italy, Yıldız Technical University, Yıldız Technopark, and Italian Culture Center. As you know, through Italian Design Day, we organized online panels and competitions. Today, we're going to talk about the competition, which is organized in collaboration with İED and Istanbul Design Biennale. Yes, now we are here as jury consultants and jury. And I would like to give the word to Jacopo Manganiello at first to introduce our competition as well.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Pınar, and thank you to Deniz for being here today and introducing this competition that we designed and organized together. I have been scouting for talents worldwide for so long, and I have to say that Turkish designers and Turkish students have always been at the top of our design competitions. So we're thrilled to launch one more competition dedicated to Turkish students and designers, but also to non-Turkish students and designers who live in Turkey and that can take part into this competition. So thank you for having us, and let's go through this competition together.
Thank you very much, Pınar, for inviting me. And thank you, Jacopo, for collaborating on this great competition. It's really a fantastic chance for Turkish students to participate in this competition and to finally win actually a period or to study in your school at İED in Milano or Firenze. You will be talking about the details in a minute, but it's a fantastic chance. I wish I would be a design student and could apply. So thank you very much for being here again with us all together and giving this floor to the Turkish students.
Yeah, maybe we can start with our presentation to give the details about Designing Imagination competition. Design Imagination competition is a student design competition. As we talked before, it's collaborated with Istanbul Design Biennale, Institute of Yapı Design, Yıldız Technical University, Yıldız Technopark, Istanbul Consulate General of Italy, and Italian Culture Center. Now we're going to talk about technical details, how to apply, what are the criteria that we are expecting from the students. Jacopo, you can start.
Of course. First of all, I'd like to repeat once again that the contest is an open contest. The winner of this competition will be able to choose where to follow a semester course between Milano and Florence. In Florence, the course is entitled Interior Design, Focus on Retail and Commercial Spaces, and it's a fall semester. This means that it will begin in October 2021. On the other hand, in Milano, the course is entitled Italian Contemporary Design and Trends, and it's a spring semester. This means that it will start in February 2022. Both courses have a lot of connection with the production reality in their context. This means that in Florence, you will experience and visit the design reality as well as in Milano. So it's a very different location, but both of them are really interesting. Another important information is the deadline, of course, because this is an open competition, but it will not last forever. So we opened it some weeks ago, but the deadline to submit your documents is December 15. So hurry up because the deadline is approaching. We will see today how to arrive prepared to this deadline with all documents prepared and what we as a jury expect from you as participants. Because it's very important that you note down the website to register. It's ied.edu/idd, and on that page you will find a form, you will find the regulation to download, and by registering and downloading the regulations, you will receive detailed instructions on how to proceed. So these were the technical informations, but let's move on to the briefing of the contest, which is the most important part. We designed this competition together with the theme of Italian Design Day and with the Design Biennial. And we proposed a briefing that takes into consideration three big concepts. The first concept is the designing imagination. The fact that YED as a school in its methodology and in its courses is going through some big changes, and we are embracing the design for communities approach. So we are going beyond the traditional human-centered approach in which design is meant to make, you know, one's life better, but we want to make multiple lives better. For this reason, and for the fact that it's a very complex approach, we insisted that in this competition, participants should not focus on solution, on designing solution, but participants to this competition should imagine visions before solutions. We are not asking them to arrive to this competition with a detailed technical proposal of a specific object, but rather to imagine the future, taking inspiration from the present, taking inspiration from all the wonderful events, panels, and exhibition of Italian Design Day and the Istanbul Design Biennale, and set a problem. We want you to think about the present and imagine a vision for the future, problem setting, but then design taking into consideration communities as your main focus and target. What is a community? Community can be defined by geography. So people living in the same space. It can be a small space like a building. It can be a big space like a city or even a nation. It can also be defined by time. For example, a community can be a group of people who spend a lot of their time together. For example, workers on a daily basis, they spend a lot of time together, and we consider this a community. Or also, a community can be the students, because they share for a limited time during the week or during their lifetime a place and their time. So students also can be considered a community. So don't stick on just one concept, but think about how your design can be helpful, not for just one person, but for a group of persons at the same time. Also, for this reason, keep in mind that being this an open competition, we are not focusing on just one topic of design, on one specific disciplines. We are open to designs of products. We are open to designs of spaces, so interior designers are more than welcome. We welcome also service designs, or why not a combination of all these elements into a new vision. So even if you are a fashion designer, you are welcome. Your product, your garment can definitely be part into this competition. So this was the first of the three concepts that we incorporated in the briefing. The second one was the theme of the Italian Design Day 2020. And for this, I give back the word to Pınar for a little bit of details.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to give information about themes of Italian Design Day. Drawing feature, innovation, development, sustainability, and beauty. But now, unfortunately, after COVID, these themes are getting stronger and increasing the importance in our daily life, actually. Because now we start to understand better that design can increase people's quality of life, or design can increase the quality of mind, actually. So in the scope of Italian Design Day, we couldn't divide any field of design because it's a very integrated large area. So we keep also fashion, we keep industrial design, we keep art and architecture inside. So through that 5 themes, we talk, I'm giving the information about panels also that we were talking about, not only these titles, but also we talk about pandemic, because it's a very huge problem to fight and to create, to design against, to survive our lives. Since we are looking for the public solutions, for the community solutions, I think the students have really a strong starting point, maybe. I would not want to ordinate students in this way, but since we are living very hard conditions, especially for the second wave, that can be a helpful coordination. So about this theme, talking about innovation, but in the design field, normally innovation brings the meanings like technology and the feature. But innovation in design doesn't need always technology, as you know. We were discussing about how innovation can be produced in the field of design, in the field of art. Development is also related to innovation, and development also doesn't need always technical details, because since design is fitted by senses, when you integrate the senses into your design in a new invented way, or you can get together some different compounds of design, you are creating a development and innovation. So this is a very new area also for Turkey, because the government is supporting, giving so much supporting to this innovation and development researches, but in the engineering science. But since 2 years, it's getting started to be supported by the government, also researchers in art and design. So this area is very excited area for us. And added to this, sustainability and beauty is always in the center of Italian design. The intersection part of all these themes are actually human and human being, and maybe the sustainability of human, as we know in these days. So I believe that it's also related with the theme of Design Biennale. So I would like to give the word to Deniz to relate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As my colleagues outlined, the agency of design has completely changed, and the role of the designer is changing. And when we look into our world today with the crisis we're all living in, I think we need to change our mindsets and the way how we're working. So this design competition in that sense gives you the chance as people that, or as a person that maybe wants to apply, to show how you're approaching design or how you are actually thinking newly of the world. So Jacopo rightly said the human-centered idea is obsolete now. We need to change our mindsets. We need to think of more than one. So I want to go back to the title of the Istanbul Design Biennial, which was Empathy Revisited, Designs for More Than One. Our curator, Mariana Pestana, gave us this title actually before COVID, but it became immensely important, even more important now, to think about these topics in different realms. So creating new empathy feelings or creating empathy with new bodies actually is what we need to think of. So if we go back, and that's what we did during the Design Biennial and still continue to do until the 30th of April 2021, is to think of the original words expression empathy, which was explaining the relationship between the human and an object. So this emotional transfer of feelings was very important more than 100 years ago. So I think we need to go back to this idea and not only think about the empathy between humans, between communities, which is still important and that we need to improve or redefine and reconfigure actually after this big pandemic or with this big pandemic, but also think of more than one body, not only as a human, but also as bodies from other species, and also to create empathy with the environment and with nature. We need to define these relationships again. We need to find new paths. So in your applications, if you need more inspiration, let's say, and to understand what you could be using as a topic in your application, you can have a look into the Istanbul Design Biennial projects that might inspire you to think differently about topics or things in your daily life that create the future together, the future of your application, let's say. So I think it's very important to understand that design creates our daily habits and our daily culture. So if we want to change something, design might be a really good starting point, and to rethink what we're doing, what you're throwing out in the world. As Jacopo and Pınar rightly said, it's not only about the objects any longer, about that what we're producing or only the innovation. It's really about how we are creating the community. So what we are doing, directly refers into our lives. It's not only enough to increase the value or our daily lives, to increase the quality of life of the human being. We need to see it in a comprehensive way. We need to increase the lives of other species as well, and also to understand how we will be surviving sustainably together with nature, together with the other species. So I do really hope that the Design Biennial gives you inspiration for your application. And if you're not even for this application, gives you some inspiration for your life and your approaches in your practices in the future, hopefully. So I want to come back actually to one more comment that Jacopo said that I could also be applying. So thank you very much for pointing this out. So I don't really need to be trained as a designer. So the approach from different backgrounds is also very much important. Working cross-disciplinary or beyond the design discipline and creating new collaborations is very much important. So it's not only about the community in our, let's say, daily lives, in geographies, in nations, in neighborhoods. It's also about creating communities in our professional lives to understand that the collaboration is very much important. So if you're applying and if you can incorporate this into your application, I think that would be more than fantastic for the future of the practice. I think I stop here and give the floor back to Jacopo and Pınar.
Thank you, Pınar and Deniz. We will actually go back to the criteria for selection of winning projects in a minute. But in the meanwhile, I will give you some more details about, technical aspects of the files you should prepare to submit for this competition. So the rules are very simple. We will need to receive one PDF file of maximum 8 megabytes and maximum 10 pages. So make sure that in the first page there is a visual sum up of the concept. It can be a mood board, it can be an illustration, a picture, a sketch, whatever you want in order to express this, your idea visually, but then don't limit to the first page. You can go deeper into your thinking process, into different aspects and angles of your idea in the next 9 pages. So use all the space you are given to express your idea and use all the tools that you have. If you're very good at hand sketching, hand sketch. If you're very good with some 3D softwares or design software, please use them. Let us know which your abilities are, because we value that a lot. But also let us see your thinking process, because we are very much more interested in understanding how you got to the final idea than to a perfect rendering of a defined product. As I said at the beginning, we are very much interested in the phase of problem setting instead of the problem solving, and on the imagination rather than the solution. So keep those keywords in mind during the preparation of your project, because we want to be surprised by by your imagination. It's in the title of the competition, so keep this in mind. Of course, if your ability is through videos, you can make videos and you can paste a link to this video in this PDF file. And last but not least, remember that together with your project, you will be required to submit some more personal details and documents, such as a passport, a CV, and a short motivational letter explaining your project and who you are as a person and as a designer, so that we understand your profile a little bit better. All of this information will be given to you via email as soon as you register on the website. But don't forget that we have some support for you, because the email that you see right now on the screen, r.volpi@ied.it, not only is the email to which you have to send your set of documents to participate in this competition, but it's also an email that you can write to if you need to have, if you have a question, if you have a doubt, if you want to receive a preliminary feedback. So keep this email in mind, because my colleague Ruslan will be your main reference point during these last days up until the deadline, which I remind is December 15. So you need to arrive to December 15 with all this list of documents and send them by midnight to Ruslan Volpi in order to be considered for the scholarship. So what will happen after we receive all of your projects? All of this list of wonderful, hopefully, projects from you will be given to this panel of jurors composed by Carlo Branzaglia, who is the professor of Istituto Europeo di Design. He is the head of the postgraduate department in Milano, and he was also a panelist at the Italian Design Day. Actually, I think, if I'm not wrong, he will, his intervention will be online about design education the 9th of December. So keep this as an extra possibility to have some insights to develop your project. Of course, by Ms. Pınar Sipahi, who is here with us today, by the Consul General Gabriele Ingrosso, and of course by the director of the Istanbul Design Biennial, Deniz Ova, as well as an extra member who was not part of the designing process of this competition, but who we wanted to invite also to have an external point of view, the architect Han Tumertekin. So this panel of judges, actually each of them will evaluate each of the projects that we received, giving a score from 0 to 15 according to 3 criteria: the originality of the concept, the affinity of the concept with the theme of the competition, and the imagination and the vision within the concept. So we have 2 jury members with us today, Pınar and Deniz. Why don't you, tell our audience and our participants how you personally will judge the projects that we receive according to these 3 criteria?
I gave some glimpses and some hints actually when I was talking about empathy, revisited designs for more than one. So I think the originality of your concept, as it says, refers for me to what is the content and how you present it actually. So it could be explaining about the very common topic, but how you're approaching it and what you think will be the importance for the future of this topic and how you would want to shape it and how you would want to maybe change it or work with it is very important. I think the way how we are seeing problems was in the focus until now in design, but as Jacopo really rightly explained, it's not about only solving problems any longer. It's about understanding what the needs will be for the future, and therefore we need to have a good look into the past and into the present to understand what is going to be the next big issue or what is the urgency that we need to tackle. And this can be something very simple in daily life or something more complex that refers to more than one topic. So explaining about your original idea, let's say, will be important, and how you approach it for the forthcoming works you would want to do with it. And also the imagination about how wide the topic is actually going. So you need to see I think that's how we need to approach also future projects and issues. You need to see it in a more complex way. It's not, life is not gradient, life is not linear. There's a multi-complex problems we're living in a multi-layered world we're living in. So how you're seeing your complex need to be settled in this multi-layered life or multi-layered world. I think that's very important also for the next steps in design and the practices to understand this complexity and how to really understand a problem in this complexity and or to frame this issue that you want to tackle, in this complexity, and how you settle it and how you will work with it. So I know that's very difficult, and I know that it will be difficult to explain, but really sit down and make yourself understand first, that you are able to make us understand in your application what you are looking for and what is the problem you're defining, or what is the approach that you will be tackling this issue that you're explaining.
I totally agree with you, Deniz. And I would like to add my opinions, because for me, it's really hard to compare designs. We are making so much juries between students in architectural juries. And I'm repeating it so many times that you can suggest points, you can give a problem to different designers, and billions of designers can create some totally different designs. And it's really hard to compare, this is better or this is not. The point is the story should be very strong, and the context is the most important part of design. You have to give a very strong reason, especially since we are talking about human-centered themes. This is very important to be related with a problem and the story of the solution, how it will be combined to their design and the story. We hope to see these solutions not only by drawings. We need to see also some explanations about their stories. They will give a letter about their concepts. Maybe they can explain some details about the drawings to us about their context. That can be a point of mine.
Thank you, Pınar and Deniz. And of course, your point of view was very much important. I hope we cleared some doubts of our participants, or maybe we put some more doubts in their head. We know that the theme is complex, but as Deniz said, the world we're living in is complex. And design can be a good tool to manage complexity, not to make it simpler because it's impossible, but at least to find ways into this complexity and to help people understand better, or simply, even without realizing, to live better, to create empathy, and to start new ways of living. So after this criteria, remember that after the selection will be done, the winner will receive an email from us, and you should be ready to accept the scholarship in a very short time, because it's an exclusive prize that you're getting. It's a 100% scholarship in Italy, and we need to make sure that the winner can really take part into this course. So this will happen at the beginning of 2021. It's not going to happen in December, so don't worry. But in January, one of you will receive some good news. So be prepared to accept the scholarship and let us know. Remember that the first course, the one in Florence, will start in October. So after the publication and the selection of the winner, you will still have lots of time to organize, several months actually. So at the moment of selection, please make sure that you know already that you can be with us. I think that we went through a lot of themes. I think that the last thing that we're left to say is good luck to all of you. And hopefully more than one of you will join us in Italy for a course, or also for a visit. We really look forward to trips being open again, and also personally, I can't wait to be back in Turkey and Istanbul together with all of you. And thank you.
I think in Italian we were saying bocca lupo, right?
Bocca lupo, that's right. And
in Turkish, bol şans, and good luck to everyone.
Good luck and goodbye. See you soon.
Goodbye and good luck.